Today I'll take up these two very important heterocyclic molecules. That is quinazoline and pteridine. Here these are the, you can say it's a fused dihetero molecule. Yes, here two rings are fused and two heteroatoms are present. Here it is two heteroatoms are present in the same ring, and it may be in the different ring also, so that will be a different compound. So here we will take up this quinoxaline. So it is also known as 1,4-di as a naphthalene. You can say this is a naphthalene basic ring, and at 1 and 4 position, two nitrogen atoms are present. This is also known as a benzopyrazine. Right, benzopyrazine. So this is the benzene structure here, and this is the pyrazine. So they are fused, also called as the benzopyrazine. So you have to be you should know the both common name as well as their IUPAC name. They may come in exams, so you have to remember all those type of names to this. Let us see the synthesis, how it can be synthesized. Although lot of methods are available in the literature to synthesize such type of molecules, but still I am listing a few very common methods which are widely used in the laboratories and the industrial process to synthesize this quinoxaline. It is a part of if I see the synthetic utility, it's a part of the various drug molecules. So it's very important at the drug point of view. So it can be synthesized if we take diamine, ortho, amine, aniline. So it is also called as 1,2-diamine in case of aromatic compound. So when it is treated with oxalic acid, so oxalic acid when treated, so imine is formed through this hydrogen atoms and hydrogen atom. As a result, we get this type of derivatized quinoxaline. And if we take another derivative of this, if we take diketone, it was an acid, and if it is 1,2,3,4 diketone, if we take, so again we will get a quinoxaline derivative. Here if we were taking oxalic acid, so OH will come here at 2 position, and if we take methyl, that is a diketone, so 2-methyl will appear at these positions, 2-3 position. And if I take this ketoester, here you see, so in ketoester will also give you the same molecule. Here also have written this ketoester. These two molecules are the same, but it's a tautomer form of that. And if we see the molecule, and they are usually the same molecule, right? I think you understand. You can understand the tautomerism it is showing. And here you see this ketoaldehyde, keto and aldehyde, and here we will have this part. So this will be your methyl part. Then this keto will eliminate water from here, and the aldehyde part will also react with this amine to form the cyclic quinoxaline. So it's these are very high yielding methods in which we get molecule in the very bulk amount. And now see, coming to the reactivity, how it reacts with the various type of reagents. If I take sodium ethanol and try to react with it, what happens actually, this ring get reduced and this benzene ring get intacted, so it does not affect. So here we will say that it's a saturated, or you can say dihydro molecule type. We get tetrahydro, 1, 2, 3, 4 positions are saturated. And when treated with nitric acid and oleum, so we have a nitration, and nitration here, see, it's a two type of molecule will form. We'll have a mixture of that. So this nitration will occur at this position. If I move on from this, so this benzene ring will be nitrated at this position, or as well as at this position. That means dinitro molecule will get, in both the case, in both mixture will get. So selective nitration is not possible with nitric acid and oleum. And I take, when this alkaline KMnO4, try to oxidize it, so this benzene ring gets broke down, and it will give the diacids, while this ring with the nitrogen, this pyrazine ring remains the same. And when this canoxylene again treated with HCl, because it is amine, no two nitrogens are there, so we feel that it will act as a base. Let us see for this. If we take this HCl and when treat it, then it forms a salt. That means it acts as a base sometimes. So it's very weak base. So weak base will also form a salt with the HCl. And if I take HCl, hydrogen cyanide, and try to react, so these positions are reactive against this hydrogen cyanide, and we get the dicyanocanoxylene molecule. Very important molecules. Now coming to the pteridine. So here pteridine is a tetra as a molecule. So tetraheteroatom here we have in the both the rings we have two atoms, but the positions are different. So it is a fusion of pyrimidine as and a pyrazine ring. This is pyrazine ring and this is pyrimidine ring. Actually, this pteridine word comes from the Greek word called pteron, means wings. So wings of the butterfly have the colors, and these color ranges from yellow to red. So therefore, this pteridine name has come for this molecule, because it will impart color from yellow to red position. Now coming to synthesis, how can we synthesize? Again the same way with the diamine, and we have to take pyrimidine at 1 2 position, 2 3 position will have diamine. When treated with an dialdehyde, it will give an pteridine in a you can say quantitative amount. And when this is treated with a diketone, again here we will have derivatized pteridine, phenyl will appear. So these methods are very common and very useful method for synthesis of this type of canoxylene and pteridine molecules. And when it is treated with this diacids, or we can say oxalic acid, so oxalic acid will also give you the derivatized pteridine, when OH will come at position 2 and 3. It's a Gabriel-Asso reaction. Lot of methods are available for this synthesis also. I have taken one of the methods, is Gabriel-Asso reaction, so in which we take diamine and aldehyde or ketone or acid, any dimolecule we may take. Now look at this reactivity. Again, it's because it contains 4 nitrogen atoms, so definitely it will be having some basicity, although it's a weak base. So when treated with water, so it takes up the water molecule, and this bond gets hydrolyzed, and we'll get a hydroxy product. So it seems to be hygroscopic, so it get denatured, or it can get react with the water. And if I take a ketone or amide type of molecule here, this is amide, and this basic ring is our pteridine, and this is the keto part here, so we call it as amide. So when amide will treated with we can say hydrogen peroxide, so this part also get oxidized, this carbon also get oxidized to form the diamide type of molecule. This diamide, one amide here and another amide here, so diamide type of molecule we get. Right, so when when we see this reactivity towards the reduction with the reducing agent, and we took this LaH, lithium aluminum hydride, so what happens, this in lithium aluminum hydride, this ring get only reduced while this ring remain unreacted. So this is the beauty of these type of molecules, that some of the reactions are at one ring and some other reactions are at the other ring, depending on the availability of the electrons. So this LaH this reduces this pteridine molecule at this pyrazine ring, not with the pyrimidine ring. And here if we see, if we take the water, treated with water, only this pyrimidine ring gets reacted, while this pyrazine ring remains the same. So this is the way, these are the few properties I have written. You can go through the other properties of this pteridine, as well as this canoxylene that I have discussed today. So these are very important molecules. Lot of reactions are available with this. You have to see their chemical reactivities as well as sometimes the physical properties also. So this was all about these two molecules. Further reactivity you can consult the textbook that I have already recommended. It is that Parekh and Parekh, Essence of Retrocyclic Chemistry. I have also